She said she wanted close friends after the divorce, but I got close to her best friend instead. That thought hit me like a punch in the gut the moment I saw the two of them laughing in our old cafe, the one we used to go to on lazy Sunday mornings. I should have known something was wrong when she started texting me less, always busy with work or family stuff. Her tone distant, clipped, almost rehearsed. But I never imagined it would come to this. It started innocuously, as most betrayals do. I had noticed the little changes first. The late-night calls she whispered into, the sudden interest in new hobbies, the way she seemed to vanish from our shared life like smoke slipping through my fingers. At first, I chalked it up to stress. Divorce is messy, and I thought she was simply adjusting. But a knot in my chest told me there was more beneath the surface. Her voice trembled the night she told me, softly, almost guiltily, "I just need some space and maybe a couple close friends to help me through." I nodded, forcing a smile, convincing myself it was reasonable. I wanted to believe her. I wanted to believe the life we had built together still held a fragment of truth, a fragment of the woman I married. But there was something in her eyes, a flicker, a shadow, that refused to meet mine fully. Weeks passed, and my suspicion grew like an unwelcome vine, curling around every thought, every moment. I noticed the text on her phone, the one she left open by accident, the one she tried to hide too quickly. There were mentions of dinners, catch-ups, and laughter that sounded too intimate, too knowing, to be anything platonic. My heart thudded painfully with each clue, each tiny betrayal I tried to rationalize. Then came the revelation I had been dreading. I was walking past the little bookstore she loved, the one we had visited together during our first year, and there she was, leaning close to a man I barely recognized at first. Her laughter rang out, the sound that once made me feel like I had the world in my hands, and it cut deeper than any knife. And the man, it was Nathan, her best friend. My stomach twisted with disbelief, betrayal, and a sharp, bitter sense of irony. I confronted her later that evening, the house heavy with tension, the air thick with things unsaid. "How long?" I asked, my voice barely a whisper, though it felt like I was screaming inside. "What do you mean?" Her eyes widened, almost convincingly, but not enough. "You and Nathan. How long has this been going on?" I couldn't mask the quiver in my tone. She looked away, fiddling with the sleeve of her sweater. I don't know how to explain. I felt my chest tighten. Memories, once warm and comforting, became sharp shards of glass. Every birthday, every anniversary, every quiet night we had shared. Were they all lies now? I couldn't stay in that house. Not that night. I wandered through the streets, the cool autumn air biting my skin, trying to sort the whirlwind of anger, grief, and confusion. How could someone you trusted with everything, who promised forever, dismantle your life so quietly, so deliberately? Days later, I found myself sitting with Nathan, ironically enough, at the very same cafe where I had first seen them. I told him everything, not because I wanted revenge, but because I needed to see him understand the depth of what had been done. He looked uncomfortable, guilty, but there was no denying the truth in my words. And yet, oddly, the conversation, raw and honest, allowed me to reclaim a fragment of control. It wasn't about reconciliation. It wasn't about forgiveness. It was about reclaiming my dignity, my sense of self that she had tried to erode with her secrecy. I realized in that betrayal, no matter how intimate, doesn't have to define your future. Months passed, and life regained a rhythm, painful but steady. I stayed away from her world, and I stayed close to mine. Nathan and I never became friends. Not really, but I no longer feared him or the knowledge he held. He had become a silent witness to my heartbreak, a reminder that truth, though cruel, could also be liberating. The last time I saw her, she tried to smile at me, the same half-smile I had once adored. I returned a polite nod and walked past, feeling lighter than I had in months. The betrayal had been complete, undeniable, and yet, strangely, it left me unbroken. I had discovered a hard truth about the people I loved, but more importantly, about the strength I carried within myself. She wanted close friends after the divorce, but I had discovered something closer to freedom. And in that freedom, I found peace.